El Paso Zoo. Instagram post. Lady is inside the enclosure. She literally jumped the gate. Inside the enclosure where there is a river that's coming through, little waterfall. She's sitting down on, I guess, a rock.
Right.
And there are the spider monkeys going, hey, can we eat with you? And she's feeding them Cheetos.
I mean, it's funny to think about in your mind, but she could have been really hurt. I say this, I'll tell my kids, if they're messing with me, I'll say, I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. There's a reason, because they can be ferocious.
Well,
they have
yeah.
sharp teeth and the claws and everything.
Well, this is a wild animal.
Yeah.
Even though this is in the zoo.
Yeah, sure.
And so she's in there. She's putting herself at danger. And then there are people that are at the zoo looking, going, what is she doing? Mm-hmm. And so she gets out in time, of course. And nobody, works at the zoo sees her, except for here's this post.
Well, of course, people have their cameras out, and she has her post. And
so the place where she works is a law firm in El Paso. And they said, oh, she works here.
Yeah.
By the way, she doesn't work here anymore.
We don't condone that type of behavior. And I mean, employers set those kinds of rules in place to protect themselves. Mm-hmm. But wow. And you know what? I don't think spider monkeys have a normal diet of Cheetos. So she probably endangered them as well.
She did, because the zoo said so. Yeah. The zoo said, they're on a strict diet.
Sure.
And now you're introducing Cheetos?
And then now that's all they ask for. Can we get some Cheetos?
At night, when all the zookeepers are gone.
And they're not happy about it.
They're raiding the vending machine.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You may remember that McDonald's in Florida that said, listen, $50 just to come in and get an interview. Just give us an interview, and then we'll give you $50, that McDonald's said.
Pretty sweet.
Well, I guess it's not working because now they're giving away iPhones.
Just for an interview?
They say, hey, you come work for us.
Okay.
You get an iPhone. We're now hiring.
Is it a 5 or is it a 12?
No, it's an iPhone.
It's just an iPhone.
An iPhone, yeah. Listen, how many students
right?
need? I mean, it's usually the drop down, hand down from mom and dad.
Oh, always. You start. That's where the kids start.
Big crack on it.
Yeah. Oh,
you know, the screen is just in horrible shape. And then after that, they get the really cheap LG phone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's the way it works.
So now, an iPhone.
Just for going and getting a job at the same time. I think this is a pretty cool incentive, and I hope it works for them because they need employees.
A big step up for that Florida McDonald's from $50 to an iPhone.
Yeah.
To get somebody to work there.
Maybe they partnered with, their local Apple store.
There's
or somebody.
No partnership.
I don't know. I'm just thinking
the dude's
how they can
buy an iPhone so they can get people to work for him.
I want to say that's kind of sad.
Well, it is.
That
he can't get anybody to work for him.
Wow.
But since things are opening back up and people are getting back to work, maybe this will be the time that he'll get more employees.
Yeah, and then 6 months or a year down the road, they'll be like, did you get an iPhone when you got hired? Because I did.
Yeah, look at mine.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This is a little girl who is 2 years old, and she was just invited to be part of Mensa. Now, you have to have a certain IQ that is, I think, I'm just going to speak here, much higher than any of us in the room. Or most.
How does she even know?
Well, this kid has 146 IQ. My dad had 142, which was over, genius level.
Wow, because the average is 100.
Right, exactly. So this is well above, and this kid is 2 years old. So now she's part of Mensa. So Mensa has about 100,000 members around the world.
And now one in diapers.
That's so when I saw the story, I'm like, wait a minute, if you're so smart, why are you still in your diaper? Figure it out, kid. No, I'm just kidding. But she knows so much, like she knows all the states, she knows the capitals, she knows her letters, she knows, and she's 2. And so they have done this IQ test, found that she's 146. Mensa stands for Mind, Table, and there's a third part of that. But I don't.
You have to have an IQ to remember what
you
that
do,
means,
evidently.
So.
But so Mensa is pretty. I mean, that's pretty elite.
Oh, very elite.
Yeah, and she is by far the youngest member ever in Mensa.
At 2 years old.
2 years years old. Like
That's crazy.
And I know, when she was an infant, I'm sure her parents discovered there was something different about her in the way she learned and retained information, even as an infant. And
She knew the basic stuff by 18 months.
I mean, it was wild how this little girl. So, 46 points above the national average, and she's 2 years old.
It's crazy. I've never had an IQ test, but I'm sure if I took one, I'd be 46 under the national average.
No, you would
not.
not.
Over like
No,
this
you
girl.
would not.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The last weekend to sign up to have this Reconnection to Remember is coming up. I mean, it's this weekend, literally. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio with that Reconnection to Remember that you could win.
Anna said, I got to get in on this because I have not seen my mom's group from church all year long. Like, we used to get together and, go off for the weekend and have these little trips. And she really misses these other women who are kind of going through the same things that she is. And so she said, you know what I want to do? I want to rent a cabin. And I want us all to go up and just have fun and hang out with each other. It would be absolutely perfect.
That's a great idea.
I think so, too.
Just to do that. Yeah. Hopefully that might happen for her, or your Reconnection to Remember could happen. All you have to do is just let us know what it is, and you just might win it. Reconnection to Remember, go to hisradio.com, tap the My His Radio app, or just text the word Reconnection to 800-447.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This guy has gone to great lengths for the woman he loves. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
His name's Christian, and he fell in love when he was in the 8th grade with his girlfriend at the time. She is now his fiance, but he's been planning since the 8th grade to do something pretty cool. Even back then, he thought, I'm going to propose to that girl. I'm going to marry that girl.
In the 8th grade.
In the 8th grade. That was love. And so as he is older now, he's in his 20s, he decided, okay, I'm going to make that plan happen with my girlfriend. So he hadn't proposed yet. He started out, they're from Washington State. He went to Arkansas and he went mining. He found, because he wanted to make his own engagement ring, he's traveled the country to find the different materials, the metals, everything. So he goes to Arkansas, goes mining, finds a 2.2 carat diamond that he can use for the engagement ring. His next stop, because he doesn't want just diamonds in this ring, he wants opals in it as well. He's going to Nevada, and he's going to, I don't know if you mine in Nevada for opals, but he's going to find them somehow.
He's still searching?
Yes. He's made this like his, at least for this year or the next, allotted amount of time. He's putting together this ring himself.
He's pretty sure she's going to say yes.
I'm pretty sure. He's designing it. He's cultivating all the materials for it, and then is going to be hands-on when it's made.
Not like the pressure's on or anything, but he's already let the world know.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
She's just waiting on the ring now and the proposal.
When are you going to get on the bended knee, dude? Come on.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
We have the chance to travel now, but it might cost a little bit more. His radio, his morning crew with Rob and Liz.
Well, more people are getting vaccinated, and so more things are opening back up. You're seeing this. It's all over the news, so this is really not any new news to you, but no wonder why things are getting just a little bit more expensive. The air travel, you've seen the gas prices go up just a tad bit, and that happened because, the pipeline was shut down.
Right.
It just doesn't seem like it's come down since the
Not
pipeline
much.
opened back up. Hello, knock, knock. Biff. McFly.
Is this thing on?
Come on, McFly. But anyway, so it's getting a little bit more expensive with some of the travel that's going on. You know what I noticed is that you can't book anything now. Everything is full.
Well, because people are like, yes, freedom, I'm out. I want to go somewhere.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to Michigan for my mother-in-law's funeral.
Right.
And so we're getting ready to travel for that. We're looking for Airbnbs and hotels and all that stuff. And it's only a couple of weeks away.
Right.
But that was really tough to find.
Right.
I don't think we really found anything.
Not yet?
Yeah.
You will. You got a little time to do it. But supply and demand, so many people are because it's, almost summer vacation and people can travel. I think people are just ready to get
I don't know
out.
about you, but we started booking next year.
Oh, well, we booked our vacation around December just in the hopes that we could get out.
Well, that was smart.
Well, it was just, my husband also was dreaming of going on vacation.
We're hopeful for a travel trailer
Yeah.
in October, November,
Yeah.
when they say prices are a little bit lower at that time. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's the thing. You have to take it day by day, and hopefully you'll find that Airbnb in Michigan. So.
Well, we hope so, but getting expensive now.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You know, it's going to get real busy. I got Memorial Day weekend that's coming up. Next weekend, it's like focus on getting the kids ready for summer breaks. It's the last week of school for a lot of schools next week. So while you can now, go ahead and let His Radio know about your reconnection to remember, because you could win it from His Radio.
Yeah, just like Lindsay, she said, I got to remember to do this. And so she did. She went online, hisradio.com. She said she and her sister never get to hang out. They aren't really separated by distance so much, but they're just so busy. So I expect that they are like busy wives and moms and, you know, employees and that kind of thing. And they just don't get time to spend together. And so she wants a girls' weekend or just back in, you know, the backyard, hanging out, something fun with her sissy.
While things are opening back up, which is so nice. So I hope you win that reconnection to remember. Even you. If you go to hisradio.com right now or text the word reconnection to 800-447-7234, you can let His Radio know what your reconnection to remember is, and you could possibly win it. Last weekend to sign up is this weekend. Go to hisradio.com or tap on the My His Radio app.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Ooh, a project that just does not work out the way you want it to, and it happened for one TikToker. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, His Radio.
It happened for Liz yesterday. Liz's Ugly Bakery, she made chicken pot pie, but it was supposed to be something different.
It was supposed to be an apple cake, an Irish apple cake.
Didn't turn out the way she wanted to.
No.
And same with this one lady, her name is Grace, and she's like, okay, I see this done, this do-it-yourself stuff. I'm going to look at videos and do it myself. Her bathroom.
That's a big project.
I don't know. You may have seen this already on social media because it seems like it's posted at a lot of different places. Yeah. She starts on the floor. She goes, to do the tiles. She's trying everything. And it turns out that when she's almost done, the bathroom looks horrible.
It's terrible.
Horrible. What's she trying to do to the sink?
She was painting the sink, and I think she was trying to marbleize it because she had some other materials that she was kind of swirling into the paint.
Let me tell you, as this Pinterest failed to the umpth degree, it was just horrific. And she has a good spirit about it because she's chronicling the whole journey on TikTok, and it's like a bad do-it-yourself network show. Yeah. I mean, it just looks horrific.
My thing is start small. Start with decoupage. Start with a jewelry box.
I mean, she's trying to cut corners and paint her own tiles and all this other stuff.
She did have stencils, which does help when you do something like that. But
the sink looked horrific.
Oh, it was terrible. And she wasn't really holding the paintbrush correctly. It was just sort of haphazard, and so she was out of the lines.
Well,
and
you get to a point where you don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're like, it's ugly. I'm done.
It's like, this is over. She tried to peel a lot of the stuff off of the sink, mobile, and it just got worse.
We all know how that works out.
And worse. But anyway, she finally got the bathroom of her dreams.
Yeah.
All said and done.
I tried.
It turned out okay at the end. At the very, 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 very end. Yeah. She probably had intervention.
She probably had professionals come in. And she has a lot of followers now on TikTok. So, that may be where she was going with that. But
you're going to tackle a bedroom next.
Yeah. Oh, please don't. Not without professional help. I tried to paint our bathroom when I was much younger, my first real place. It was supposed to be a light seafoam green. It was awful.
What color did it turn out to be?
It was like teal, neon teal. It was awful. Like you would turn the light on, it was like, ah! It was terrible. I never painted again.
Blinded by the lights.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you've ever, it doesn't have to be a home improvement kind of thing, but if you tried something, it didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to.
Oh, I'd love to hear the story.
800-447-7234.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It didn't turn out quite the way you expected. Oh, these are some stories to hear this morning. It's Rob and Liz, His morning crew. Kathy's here at 800-447-7234. What happened for you, Kathy?
One time, my husband and my girls were trying to redo the bathroom upstairs, and it had like 2 layers of wallpaper. And we tried to do all the different things that you're supposed to do. We rented the, whatever you call that thing, the steamer. And by the time we got through, our bathroom looked like a brown grocery bag. There were sheetrock came off. It was terrible, terrible. And that we worked on it like 3 or 4 days. So we called a friend who we knew had all the equipment. He came over and he said, preacher, I want to tell you something. I believe everybody's been given a gift. We all have a gift. He said, and yours is preaching.
I guess it's pretty logical to say that your husband's a pastor at a church somewhere.
He is the director of missions at the Beaver Dam Baptist Association, and he is the pastor of the church at the Well.
Oh, that's great. I mean, wow, the two big jobs right
very
there.
Very busy man, very busy.
Huge. So my son's like into YouTube.
Yeah.
And if he wants to do something, he'll go to YouTube and figure it out. Yeah. One day, and he does great. He's brilliant. And right now he's building a table.
Spencer's building a table?
He's building a table. He went and bought all the tools off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, sure.
For really cheap. And pretty good, yeah.
So if you need material, there you
go. So he got some free pallets, and he's making a table.
He got
out
free
of it, yeah.
pallets? Because sometimes they're expensive.
Well, he got them for free
That's
because
great.
this
That's
one
good.
business didn't need a free hub. It didn't need any of the pallets. They put them on the side and said, take them whatever you guys want. You just come and get them, for the community to come by and get free wood, which is really nice. So one day, Spencer couldn't start his car.
Okay.
It just wouldn't start. And so he was about to do something with a fuel pump. And I'm like, can I just try something real quick before you do that?
Yeah.
So I went in and I pumped the gas pedal.
Okay.
And then started the car right up.
And what year was the car?
Oh, it's like a 2016,
Okay,
something
so
like
you
that.
can still
Oh yeah,
give it
that
a little gas.
That little trick still works.
Wow, I did not know it would still work. That's cool.
I got a YouTube video of it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It is a skywalk in the redwoods in California.
Oh, that
the
sounds fun.
treetops. It's amazing. This thing is 100 feet in the air. It's a very stable skywalk.
How do you know that?
When you go that, because it looks like it.
Okay.
It looks incredible. It's
Good
about a
engineering.
quarter of a mile trip to go around on the skywalk on the treetops
I
in
would
California.
love this.
It's in Sequoia. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, to be on the treetops like that on these old redwoods.
Yeah, just gorgeous. Isn't there something like that in Tennessee where, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, and it's up in the trees like that. Obviously, nowhere near as tall as these
I haven't
redwoods.
seen it or heard of it, but I would, if it exists, I would
think
like to
so.
go.
Yeah, but it's more of like almost like rope bridges or something. Like you've got the very stable flooring, but then it's ropes on the sides.
Yeah, that's
So-
kind of like what this is.
Okay, yeah, I think it would be very cool. I would love to do that.
Think it is cool.
Yeah.
No thinking about
Well,
that.
but some people are going to be afraid because it is so far up in the air, and I get that. It's a little scary.
So here's the thing that you need to know about Liz. She'll go 100 feet in the air, but she will not do a roller coaster.
Oh, every day of the week.
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
So I've done roller coasters, and I've done, I like the water rides. I like the log ride, that kind of thing.
She likes the lame ones, evidently.
No, well, yeah, I don't even know. It's been so long since I've been on a roller coaster.
And
But
she
when,
won't go on. We try to get her on, and she says,
No.
"Oh, I'll go 100 feet in the air in the
No.
redwoods, but I won't get on a roller
No,
coaster."
I bruised my toes.
And a roller coaster?
Because
How? How do you
Everybody's
do
looking
that?
at- So at the top of the hill, when you get to the top and you're about to drop, I just start stomping my feet, and I always kick. And when I get off, I have bloodied my toe before because I've been so scared, and I can't
Wow.
deal with it.
Now I'm scared.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I really had no idea. I didn't know there was one this close. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. They were talking about this new skywalk, literally in the trees of the redwoods. It's 100 feet up. It's a quarter of a mile of a walk, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and there is one. I was trying to figure it out because I know I've done it before, like in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Lisa said there is one. It's called Anakista, and it's in Gatlinburg. She went with her family last year. My husband and I went a couple of years ago. There's a restaurant at the top because you take the little sky lift up to the top.
I don't even know it. I've been to Gatlinburg umpteen many
Right.
times.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Anakista.
Anakista. It's
Okay.
so much fun.
Rob and Liz on his radio. So Mike gets through because he's hearing Liz say she'll go on one of these big, tall skywalks,
Yeah.
but not on a roller coaster.
Nope, not happening.
And then she reveals something happens to her feet. What are your thoughts here, Mike?
I feel like we need a better explanation as to why Liz Riles gets bloody toes from a roller coaster. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Unpackage this a little bit, if you would.
Like I say, when I'm at the top, I get so scared because I don't like that feeling when your stomach drops when you go down the hill on a roller coaster. And I just start stomping my feet, and I'm hitting the front of the car seat, that you're in. And so when I hit my feet, usually when I go to an amusement park, I'm wearing like flip-flops or, sandals or whatever. And so then I do end up with bloody toe syndrome.
So they put you in a car seat when you go on a roller coaster?
No, you know what I'm talking about, little bucket. The little bucket, roller coaster bucket.
It's now a bucket.
Well, I was just about to say, what would happen if she rode the teacups? I just wanted to tell you guys, it's so uplifting to hear your voices in the morning. You guys are so positive, and the world needs that today. Liz, I used to listen to you in Greenville over the past few years. I'm in Charlotte, and I flip over to his radio very, very often, and it's great to hear your voice again.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Bloody toes or not.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Junior ROTC, all the guys got together. They were having a pool party, and then they had 7 crashers of the pool party. And they were, I kid you not, bears.
And they didn't even RSVP or bring anything for the picnic. Nope, they crashed the swimming pool.
Yeah, one of the moms got out their phone. They go, "You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
I gotta get this up on social." And you see one of the bears is like in the hot tub.
He's like, "Where's that jet? Because my back is killing me."
The other ones are getting in the main pool. This is a pretty fancy pool.
It is pretty nice.
Oh, man. So it looks like to me it's the community pool, probably in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But and then another bear jumps in the hot tub. So you got 2 bears in the hot tub.
Well, yeah, it's
They're
no fun
walking
by
around
yourself.
all over the deck. They're jumping in the main pool. I mean, wow.
And the kids, totally, fled the scene.
Oh, yeah. When the
They were
bears
out.
started coming in, they're like, "I'm out." They turn their hats backward and pew.
Yeah.
They get into the clubhouse, and they're like, "We're far away from that." So the bears had the whole run of the pool.
Well, I mean, it's their senior trip, too. They graduated. They're supposed to get a senior trip, so a pool is part of that.
7 of them. Now, one thing that I'm tickled of is there is also a tennis court, and you can see one bear on the tennis court in the background. It's like, "Hey, guys, come on. Let's get a little game going."
And they're like, "We didn't bring our rackets."
Yeah, right? Yeah, they just brought their goggles.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Oh, I think Liz has a nice thought for you for a nice treat that you could have for Memorial Day weekend. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Ooh, I do, but we can only get these about every 17 years or so. So, the cicadas are back. Okay, so there is a candy shop in Maryland that said, I hear the cicadas, they're back. We've got this vat of chocolate. How about we dip the cicadas in the chocolate and we have a tasty little treat?
Doesn't that sound so tasty? Yeah, I mean,
The crunch is
Listen,
unparalleled.
they have crickets. Seriously, there are crickets that you can buy and eat.
I know.
I know. And since I've been involved in student ministries for a while, I had some one summer camp. They're not bad.
They're not bad, but would you choose, if you go on a road trip and you always pack your little snack, is it you'd crunch on grasshoppers going down?
Hey, they're kind of messy on the teeth.
Oh, that's so gross.
They are, seriously. They are. But then the cicada, then the delicacy of putting the chocolate on these things.
Oh, no. It's so gross.
Kind of.
Right.
But you got to try it at least once. The chocolate-covered cicadas.
Yeah, and they're kind of pricey, too.
They're bigger than the crickets, so I can see that.
Well, for a dozen, it's $18.
Why?
I guess they think it's sort of a delicacy. And
What kind of chocolate they putting on these things?
I don't know, but the
cicadas are free. They're everywhere. You just go pick them.
You go get in the backyard. I don't even know where they come up, but you go get some cicadas, and then you dip them in your chocolate.
It's a little, fondue treat.